Strong words today from Staten Island Borough President James Molinaro, slamming the Red Cross for what he calls their poor response to Staten Island. Joining us now by phone is the Greater New York Regional Communications Director, Sam Killey. Mr. Killey, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, the borough president on Staten Island is not mincing words. He's encouraging Staten Islanders to stop, in his words, donating to the Red Cross. He says that the Red Cross has not been present during this devastation, nowhere to be found on his borough. What's your response to that?
Well, we appreciate the borough president drawing attention to the needs of his community. He's a passionate advocate for his constituents, and he has a right to alert the nation to the plight of his community. You know, we know this is a frustrating and challenging time for Staten Islanders. We hear them loud and clear, and where people need help, we'll send in help. We actually right now have 10 response vehicles that are en route to Staten Island loaded with ready-to-eat meals, water, snacks, and comfort items. You know, but we're dealing with the same traffic conditions that everyone else are. We just want people in Staten Island to know that we will be there soon. We also have plans in place for a mobile feeding kitchen that will be coming on site.
Well, our news crews were able to get there, and we have the same kinds of vehicles. What took so long? This storm hit on Monday. It's Thursday today. That's what Staten Islanders and the borough president want to know.
Well, it's important to remember that the emergency response plans in New York City are drawn up by the New York City Office of Emergency Management, and we, of course, stand ready to support the city in any which way when they ask us to. So the city has been taking care of people with its shelters and feeding people in those shelters, et cetera. Now that we know that there's this need, you know, we are coming in, and we will be coming in full force.
You know, in the words of James Molinaro, and these are very strong words, sir, he said the Red Cross is an absolute disgrace. Have you spoken to him?
Our Chief Executive Officer, Josh Lockwood, has spoken to him, and Josh actually is on his way to Staten Island himself to meet with the borough president as well as other officials to make sure that he knows that help is on the way.
So where has the Red Cross been dispatched to if it wasn't dispatched to one of the hardest hit areas in the city?
Well, we were not asked to come in there. As I said, New York City Office of Emergency Management has been handling the sheltering and feeding of city residents. You know, we, of course, are also beyond the city itself. We're working out on Long Island and the lower Hudson Valley and places like New Jersey.
So the big question...
So we're out there helping people, and as I said, you know, we hear the cries for help loud and clear, and we are on our way.
Well, that's the big question then. How soon before the boots are on the ground in Staten Island and all of the resources and materials are properly distributed?
There will be people on the ground in Staten Island today.
Today.
And what about...
we have had people who are out there in a limited role. We do have our disaster action volunteers who are always in Staten Island helping the residents out there. Like I said, the initial response to this, by the plans put in place by New York City Office of Emergency Management, we are there to support, you know, and as we heard these cries for help today, we are on our way.
So, Mr. Killey, respectfully, the Red Cross has to be asked to go somewhere? I thought that you sort of take it upon yourself to see a disaster and go to it.
You know, every disaster takes a lot of people working together, and we work closely with New York City Office of Emergency Management. They developed the plan that they wanted for the city. We've gladly sit with them in their Emergency Operations Center. We've been providing what assistance they've asked when they've asked for it, and we are sending in resources now.
Last question for you, Mr. Killey. Staten Island isn't the only area devastated. Do you have boots on the ground in the Rockaways, particularly Far Rockaway, where people are literally calling us saying they have children hungry? And how about Coney Island and City Island?
We are also in the process of sending vehicles to those areas. We are sending in a mobile feeding kitchen to Reese Park in the Rockaways. We are also sending one to Aqueduct. At these kitchens, they'll be able to prepare thousands of meals each day, and then our emergency response vehicles will be driving these meals into affected communities.
All right, Sam Killey, Regional Communications Director of Red Cross, I want to thank you very much, and I hope Staten Islanders will be seeing Red Cross workers today as you pledged.
They most definitely will.
All right, thanks again.